Well, folks, hopefully some major reinforcements may be on the way soon for the Buccaneers wide receiver room. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So, when speaking to the media today on Monday, December 1st, Todd Bowles came out and said that Jalen McMillan and Mike Evans could return to practice this week, not necessarily playing immediately. He did say that McMillan had to adjust to wearing a helmet to see how strong his neck is as he recovers. And then we have the full quote here where Bowles went on to say he's been running. It's just a matter of him putting on a helmet and seeing where he is strength-wise with his neck. He'll start doing more this week, and we'll see exactly what he can do, whether it's individual or whether it's some things this week as well, but he will start moving around. So again, this isn't a guarantee that McMillan and Evans are going to be playing the upcoming game versus the New Orleans Saints, right? But if they could return to the practice field in some limited capacity, that's great news, right? Because obviously in the case of Jalen McMillan, he had suffered what was initially described as a sprained neck, but then was a fractured neck during a preseason game where Teddy Bridgewater threw him a high ball. He caught it, flipped, landed bad on his neck, sprained his neck, fractured his neck, wasn't good, right? He's been on the IR ever since. He has not played in a game this season. Now, in the case of Mike Evans, he did play in a few games this year. He had a hamstring injury, which was rough. Then he came back and he broke his collarbone. So Evans has been dealing with a ton of injuries this year in terms of just missing time, right? Both of these guys have missed a very, very significant amount of time. We've also got Chris Godwin, who's been coming back from ankle and fibula injuries. So the Bucs have been decimated at wide receiver, right? This past game against the Arizona Cardinals, you saw Ibuka get going. You saw Godwin kind of look like a little bit more of his old self again. Didn't look like fully like the old Chris Godwin. He did drop a catch in the end zone, unfortunately, but right now the Bucs are surviving with Godwin and with Ibuka. Now, I don't got to tell you guys how important having McMillan and especially Mike Evans back is to this offense. Like, it's so weird, man. In the case of specifically Evans, right? McMillan, obviously having Godwin, Ibuka, and McMillan out there with Tez and Shepard as the backups is great and everything, but it's this conversation that we've had for a while now where it's like, what are the Bucs going to do without Mike Evans? And this season has really given you a glimpse into what the difficulties will be without having a guy like Evans at your disposal, right? I feel like it has been taken so much for granted how just automatically reliable Evans is, right? And how much not just the team depends on him and Baker Mayfield and whoever's throwing him the football depends on him, but like how much just the overall offense depends on Evans, right? And how much us as fans need to recognize that, like, dude, Evans is such a key cog in the machine. He's probably like the number one, if not like number two piece in this offense, him or Tristan Wirfs, right? So like that is the importance of Evans, right? So getting these two guys back is so ridiculously important. Yes, in the case of McMillan, it'd be nice to have him out there, and I do believe he'll probably be back before Mike Evans, but even with Godwin back, even with Ibuka in that mix, and Tez Johnson, and Sterling Shepard, we're still seeing this offense be clunky, be inefficient, and all these different types of things. You get Evans out there, it just changes the dynamic of the offense, right? So like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, hey man, it's gonna be awesome when he comes back, and it just makes you remember when he's not there of like, oh crap, that's right, they're not gonna have Mike Evans forever, right? So hopefully he comes back and the Buccaneers are able to continue, winning some games down this stretch, can get their way into the playoffs and figure it out from there, right? We'll see. But just wanted to talk about these reinforcements coming in. One more thing before we go ahead and head off. I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a 100% match up to $100. Again, that is whenever you use the code MrBucs. Also, whenever you guys sign up, you get $20 for free. It is simple as that. As you guys can see, making picks is as simple as just hitting a couple of buttons. So make sure you guys go download the Sleeper app today. Enjoy football the way it was meant to be, that is together. Folks, thank you all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Also, I updated the Ibuka and Mayfield counters. Mayfield, pretty close to 4,000 yards. Only needs 1,400 more yards over the next 5 games, so maybe he'll get there. We'll see. Ibuka will probably hit 1,000 yards. I mean, he needs 209 over the next 5 weeks, which is certainly possible. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.